Well, what did we have this morning? What did we have this lunchtime? Full time, Aston Villa 2, Man City 1. Now, look, I don't know what it finished like, but the stats were amazing. Oh, the stats have come down. At one point, the stats were 76% possession to 76% possession to Manchester City. 76, and they were 1-0 down. And they just weren't. They weren't even shooting on target. At least they managed to get shots off. Yeah, unbelievable. Aston Villa 2, Man City 1. And I was thinking about this. I remember when Rotherham were in the Championship, and at one point we actually got on with the Sunderland fans, and they was like, "Look, this is ridiculous. We can." They said they can play football really well with this good side, and all of a sudden, the year before, they'd lost their last 6-7 games, and the manager hadn't turned it around. So he hadn't proven himself to be able to turn a bad period around. And then the following season, when the season I'm talking about, they actually played pretty poorly for a period, and then they started to lose games. And sure enough, they began to moan that this manager, is he actually capable of bringing the team back from a set of defeats, a poor run, and they actually got rather heated at one point. Like, I'm not quite sure he can, because things don't seem to be quite as easy as what people are saying. Perhaps he can't, and I don't think he actually ever did, to be honest. I think he actually he may have got sacked from that position at that point. And it took quite a while for them to turn it round. And one wonders if Guardiola really is a good manager. I mean, okay, you say, but he's how can he not be a good manager? He manages Man City, and he won the Premier League last. Yeah, but he's got the best players. Whenever you've got the best players and you can make, and they're playing well for you, great. But part and parcel of a good manager, to me, is one that can not just get the best out of good players, but turn them around when they start just having one of those 6-game defeating runs, where they just don't play well together. Turning them around is absolutely essential. Some managers can't do it, and I don't actually think that they're brilliant managers, And sometimes you see these players, these managers, and they're like, he's the best man for the job, absolutely, and people go to them and say, we've got the best for the job. And a year, 2 years, whatever down the line, the managers just stop. They see their team playing badly, but they know it's a good team. They Bristol Rovers equalised. That's good. When did they equalise? 86 minutes on my cherry. Wow. Two yellow cards on 96 minutes for both teams. That's interesting. But yeah, you look at it, and you see that there's a little bit of me that says perhaps he just can't turn a team around that's not quite gelling at that minute. Yeah, there are managers that are damn good that just can't do that particular act. But I don't think they're brilliant players. You know, if you tell me that somebody's a good manager, yeah, he's won this, and it's great. Okay, yeah, he has. But can he turn around a team? Can he actually turn it? Make that team 10 times better? Can he make that losing team suddenly think, well, actually, we can win this. Let's do X, Y, Z. And to me, I'm just as a non-Man City fan, I'm not really bothered. But as a Man City fan, I'd probably be thinking, can he do it? But then, I suppose that equally you could say, if if we're going to say that, then changing him for one that can turn something like that around. Is he going to be as good a manager of a good team as Guardiola? Because Guardiola can do that, can't he? He can make a good team. He can make a good team sing absolutely brilliantly, and we know he can. So, if he can do that, so if Guardiola can get a good team playing well, the question is, can he get a side that's playing not so well on the day to suddenly change? Can he get that mentality back, in that winning mentality, back into the changing room? At the minute, I fear that he's a very good manager while ever the team's playing well. I don't think he's ever been tested with a side that's not playing well. He's always had a team that's played damn well, and he's not ever had, or at least not ever had the chance or opportunity to play a team that's not got that winning mentality. Oh yeah, let's see how it's going to go. So I think it's a little bit more difficult to justify. Oh yeah, we should get rid of him because he's not able to turn this round. Because actually, you can say he's not very good at turning it round, and I'd agree with you. I don't think he is, but how many times have Man City actually had to turn a bad period around? How many times have they actually played badly? And you're probably saying the last few years, this is about it. So, getting someone in who can do that part of the job is not really, I think, a point, because you could go another 4 or 5 years before Man City have another period like this, and you'll soon be looking back and thinking, well, did it really matter? Because we probably lost the title from it, but did you actually, did you panic and get somebody else in? No. If you'd have got somebody else in, would they have been any good the following, next year when you see them and think, oh, did we win the Premier League? No, but it's not as good as that. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah. So the whole Guardiola thing is quite interesting. The whole Guardiola thing is quite interesting. I find it quite an interesting point, because yeah, you can say that this guy is damn good manager, and he is. He's won things, yes, he has. But has he ever actually turned around a good team, or any team that has been playing badly, that has been playing, a decent style of class of football? And I don't think he has. He's always managed good teams that don't seem to ever get into this doldrum state. And I look at it and I think, it's just perhaps we are looking at a manager that's very good at doing what he does best, i.e. getting that win from the best side in the league. Oh dear, excuse me. Whereas, you're going to have bad periods with most other clubs. I mean, Portsmouth just won 4-1 at home to Coventry. That's a turnaround. That manager has turned around that club. It was playing pretty okay, poor to okay. Yet now, he appears to have got them 4 wins now. I mean, they had 0 wins at one point. You're thinking they ain't got a chance, have they? And now it's they're 20th position. Not only are they not bottom, they're 5th from bottom. Okay. But I tell you what, they're 5th from bottom. You might say, yeah, but they played at 12 o'clock. Yeah, but they're on 20 games. The one under them, Hull, is on 22 games. And the 3 at the bottom, Oxford, Cardiff and Plymouth, are all on 20. So actually now, the only one that should be worried should be Hull City, because they played 2 games more than any of the others around them. There's only Stoke City in 19th that played 22 like them. And it's like, oh shit, this might not be such a great... You can see how. We've now got. We look at the bottom of that league. Excuse me, my lungs are really playing up today. But let's look at this, because I think it's important. I really do, because what we've got here is the bottom of the championship is really quite interesting. I know people aren't watching, but let's just take it as if people are, because if we look at the championship table, so we've got Portsmouth in, and can't count Stokes, they're in 19th, but they're on 22 games. In fact, if Portsmouth won their game in hand on QPR and Preston, they could be on 21 games, just the same as QPR and Preston, on the same points as Preston. Minus 10, minus 6, they'd probably be in 18th, just under Preston, on the same same points, 23. So they'd be in 18th, and they'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams below them, and you'd be thinking, okay, that's fine. So yeah, quite amazing. But it's the ones that are below them, isn't it, that we're looking at. So who's playing this afternoon? So Hull City, 2 games more than them, are now playing. Now if they lose, they played this morning, they won this morning. Now it's a good job they won, didn't it? Because if they'd have lost, they'd have been equal bottom. They'd have been equal bottom, 23rd actually, 17 points, 3 points, 16 points. They'd be bottom on 16. 4 points behind Portsmouth. I'm thinking, shit, where have they gone to? But Hull City now, 22 games, 2 games ahead of Portsmouth, 1 point behind. And you look at the likes of the ones below. Oxford are on the same games at the minute. Yeah, so Oxford are playing. They're away to Leeds, but and it's a big but. They've got a new manager. So we could see a manager bounce. I don't know whether he's at the game. Don't know. I know they've got the new manager in. Don't know who, whether he's in there yet. And they got Cardiff. Same position as Oxford, same number of points, same number of games, same number of games as Portsmouth, 20. And Oxford, so you got Oxford, Cardiff the same. Cardiff are at home to Sheffield United. So you got Oxford playing Leeds, Cardiff playing Sheffield United, and you're thinking, oh shit. The only team that's got any chance here is Plymouth. The only team that's got any chance is Plymouth, and only because there's several of the Middlesbrough team that are injured and out for a few weeks. So Plymouth at home to Borough maybe, just maybe, one of these games that pushes the edge over, because yes, it could happen that you get Plymouth winning. Now, if they win, they're going to be in 21st, because they can't get unless they get 13 goals 0-0, and I don't think they're going to do that. But Plymouth would then be above Hull, and you can't see Oxford or Cardiff winning. You'd have it'd be above them. So you'd have Hull, Oxford, Cardiff in the bottom 3. Now, it's just one of those things that you look at it and you think, shit, this is ridiculous, isn't it? And I look at it, and I look at it from a point of view of, we've got a set of teams here that can get out of it. But having looked at that Hull City win, they played really well this lunchtime. Absolutely did. They deserved the win. They really did deserve the win. Swansea deserved to lose. Bristol City playing today. I did play this morning. I can't remember now. Bristol City. No, Bristol City aren't playing today. So when do they play? They play tomorrow. West Brom. And you see, they could get a point there, can't they? So yeah, Bristol City are there playing, probably get a point. And that sort of, to me, says, Swansea are now sort of in dire strait. They're like losing, making a gap between 10th and 11th, basically. So they need to sort of push on. Norwich City are away at Sunderland, and Sunderland can beat them, absolutely can beat them. And the worry is, for Norwich, is that if Swansea do manage to get out of this and push forward, they need to win their next game. They're sort of like, somewhere in that gap there's going to be a 3-pointer gap, or even a 4-pointer gap, and it seems to be starting to open up, and you can see it opening up soon, because at the minute you've got a 10th to 9th is 27 to 32, 5 points gap. But then you've got 27, 27, 26, 25. And you can see how another 3-pointer could be, 3 or 4-pointer could quite easily open up in there, because it's so flat. It would only take one of those 4 teams to win 2 games in a row, and the other one to win 1, and you suddenly got a 3 or 4 point gap in the middle, and you've already got a 5-point gap just above them, which starts to sort of get a little bit worrying to anybody sort of like 12th downwards in the championship, because then you're going to see the bottom half and the top half, well, nearly the full top half. Yeah, and it would be quite interesting. 11 at the top, 12 at the 13 at the bottom, and you'd be it's 50-50 split ish. And at the bottom, Plymouth, you can see winning something. I can see Plymouth winning something. I really can. I can see them getting out of it. Apparently, Rooney is in negotiations with the board to see how he can best leave the business. So Rooney is going. We just don't know when, because he's got to work out his severance pay at the minute. So that's going to be interesting. Because I think when that happens, they have got a decent squad. They stayed up last season, and they that was with a poor period as well. They had a poor part of that season. So if they actually did a full season playing well, they can be easily mid-table. So you can see Plymouth being able to get out of it. Cardiff, I think they're the ones that are going to struggle, I think. I mean, as much as we, as fans, we hate clubs having financial problems. They did have them like 2 or 3 years ago, didn't they? They managed to get out of it and stay up, and they've really done well. It'd be a shame to get to do that and then suddenly start, we can't get out of the bottom 3 or 4. At the minute, I can't see them getting out of it, because you've got to think who's likely to drop below them. Oxford, I mean, they've got a new manager to get in, but even with a new manager, that side is that side. It's playing as good as it can. It's not it is. So what one Oxford fan said to me on my comment section that we know who we are. We're Oxford. We only have a 3-sided stadium. We're a League One club. We did well to get where we are this year. And we did. And they started well and all this lot. Yeah, I agree. You did, and you looked like you'd stay up relatively easy after the first couple of games. They can do this, can't they? But then I don't know. Perhaps they can get a little bit better than they are now. But they I don't know. It's a difficult one with Oxford. I think they can get better, but not a great deal. Hull City are just not very good at the minute. They won today. They played well today. A bit boring, but they ground out a win. And it's all about grinding out wins, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's how many wins can you grind out during that year. Portsmouth, well, they seem to have turned it around. There's no asking whether they can turn it around. They have done. Stoke City always seem to get near the bottom at some point during the year, then come out of it. And actually, they're probably happy that it's at the beginning, because that means most likely they'll get out of it soon and rocket up the table. But it is an interesting game. let's change the description a little bit. Shall we? I'll put that in there. Where's my arrow gone? Save that. So yeah, I think it's an interesting an interesting thought about that bottom. Obviously, Preston panicked a little bit. You know, they sank down quite lowly to about 19th, I think, didn't they? Then they came back up, but it's so flat. They went straight back down again within a couple of draws, and they were back down near where they are now, 17th. You know, and it's like, you know, they were about sort of 14th, 15th, weren't they? And quite reasonable position-wise, just not many points above relegation still. Flat area. It's now less flat. Derby, no chance of going down. Luton, you know, I can't help but thinking Luton. I mean, what did they do today? Who were they playing? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Was it yesterday? Yeah, 2-1 to Derby. See that, and that's the other thing. Because you look at the Luton game, at the Luton stat. If they'd have lost, because a lot of the tabloids were saying if they'd have lost, they'd have been sacking him. Now, Luton are on 25. They'd have been on 22 points with minus 11, minus 15. So 20. Oh God, they'd be right at the bottom of that pile, wouldn't they? So they'd be 19th on 22 points. So 22 games, 22 points. You know, and we've got Oxford and Cardiff win their game in hand, and they're sort of 1 point behind them. This is dangerous, isn't it? So yeah, I can see how people were thinking, you know, this is we don't really want to be losing that particular game last night. Had they been losing, had they been doing that, it would have been quite a risky sight at the bottom of that league, wouldn't it? So, soccer. Championship, here we go. We're starting to get the games in now. Leeds United 0, Oxford 0, 1 minute into that one. Cardiff 0, Sheffield United 0, 1.5 minutes into that one. As we are with Norwich away at Sunderland. Thought something happened there. Burnley's just started at home to Watford. Plymouth are on the way at home to Middlesbrough. QPR and Preston have started. And Premier League, where's the other league? Premier League, Championship. Bloody hell. Competitions. No, you're getting me annoyed now. So we have Barnsley, Barnsley's underway, Blackpool's underway, Burton's underway, Mansfield, let's go for Mansfield Rotherham, and we've already had a shot by Mansfield. Stats here, we've already had an attack by Mansfield, didn't come off with a shot, but yeah, we've had an attack, 3 attacks by Mansfield, 2 attacks by Rotherham already. That's 5 attacks so far. We're only 2 minutes 40 into the game. As Cahill loses it to a Dauphin, and a Dauphin now for Rotherham loses it to Ashilaya. And Lewis now can try and bring it down the middle. Mansfield just trying to keep the ball, I think, at the minute. We're on 3 minutes in. in play. Let's have a look in play. So we have a goal at Ipswich. It's Ipswich 0, Newcastle 1. We don't actually we don't put them on this ticker because there's so many. They're still looking at that one. So let's wait and see. In fact, shall we go into it? Ipswich 0, VAR check. We know what happens with VARs. They're gonna count it off, aren't they? It's Ipswich 0, Newcastle 1. VAR are looking at it. VAR, VAR, and that's what they were singing at when Rotherham scored and at Fulham, and of course it got ruled out. And it's stood. It's Ipswich 0, Newcastle 1. Usually they count it out, don't they? Nothing in the Championship yet. Nothing in League 1. There is a goal in League 2. It's Chesterfield 1, Wimbledon 0. And there's Swindon 1, Grimsby 0. Now that's actually Swindon. Every time I look in League 2, Swindon seem to be scoring, and they're actually poor. Barnsley, Burton. We're going to the Mansfield. So there's nobody here. We can go to our Mansfield game. Carhill, Lewis. Mansfield are, lose it to Green. See what Green can do. Kelly, Powell, and Green in a little triangle. Surely they can't keep it. Backus gets it, and a little triangle of players, and you expect to actually keep the ball. Not if you're Rotherham United. Blake Tracy on the left hand side. Ashilaya, Bowery. They go to the right hand side now to get away from the players like Powell, and but he runs into Nombe, and Nombe loses it, but he gets kicked out for a Rotherham throw-in. Oh, no, they've changed their mind. It's a Mansfield throw-in. And Mansfield are on the go. It goes out for a Rotherham throw-in. I don't know how many offsides there were in the Portsmouth game this lunchtime, but it was absolute hell. I think it was 7 by half time, wasn't it? It was ridiculous. Rotherham grabbed that, intercept it on the halfway line, but they lose it straight away to Carhill. Evans, James made a good interception there, kicks it out for a Mansfield throw, and at the minute Rotherham aren't in this game. Really are not in it. Bowery across to Carhill on the left. They've changed the side. There was really good, pretty football again. As a Rotherham fan, I hope that it remains good, pretty football, and that's it. Oshilaya back in his own half and gives it to Maris. They're on the left hand side. Back to Pim. Carhill. Tries a through ball, but Kelly gets that one. Let's see what Kelly can do. Probably nothing, knowing us. Trying to play it in midfield at the minute. I don't mind. Try through ball, but Ashilaya grabs that one. Cahill. Ashilaya and Cahill are doing really well so far. Bowery, Hewitt. I mean, at the minute it's 70% possession to Mansfield, and you can tell as Powell intercepts that one. Nombe threads Nombe through on the left, but back to James. No, we've given up on that one. Back to Zach Jules, and we're back in defence. We just don't seem to have that confidence away from home. As Rafferty kicks it forward. Nearly went to Johnson Clark Harris, but it's nicked by Backus, and he gives it to the left as well. Eventually Blake Tracy, Cahill, Blake Tracy. Adolphin kicks it forward, but Lewis intercepts that one again. And Adolphin's trying his best. This is Rafferty, Powell, Zool. Zach Jules loses it to Backus in the wrong area. But fortunately, they've got James behind there to try and clear that one up. And it only passes it back though to the goalie to kick it out as far as he can. Halfway line, and Mansfield now back on it. And at the minute, it's all Mansfield Town. We have a goal in League Two, Chesterfield. We have several goals in League One. In fact, they're going in like mad at the minute. So it's a good job nobody's on. Let's just bring in the full list here. So we have Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 1. We have Burton Albion. Where's Burton Albion gone? Burton Albion 1, Exeter 0. Making bottom look good, this, isn't it? Northampton 0, Charlton 1. We go round over my side. Charlton 1. We would have expected that probably. And Wigan 1, Shrewsbury 0, and we certainly would have expected that. So there's a few expected goals going. Let's have a look in the Championship. Oh dear, this is going to be bad, isn't it? Leeds United 1, Oxford 0. And, you know, I dread to think what the score's going to be here, I really do. It's not looking good for Oxford, I'm afraid. Let's have a look at that one, shall we? We'll go into that game. Leeds United 0. Leeds United 1, Oxford 0. Oxford actually had the ball at the minute, so they're actually not doing too bad. So Leyton Orient, yes. Burton, Charlton, yes, I know. This one's got to catch up yet, hasn't it? So there we are. We can actually go for a few goals. Let's see what. Let's see which one we can go for as far as we'll go into that one, and it'll tell us which ones we can see. We are gonna. Oh, it's gonna have to be QPR Preston.
Moving forward, but a lot of that.
So we've got QPR Preston.
What they could bring in maybe in January to freshen up as well.
Which maybe is nothing.
Exactly, yes.
So
Ipswich 0, Newcastle 1.
Queen's Park Rangers
Oh, Burnley have scored. So Burnley have scored. Now this is a difficult one for me. I couldn't quite work out which one I was gonna go. I was thinking Burnley, Watford. Difficult one. We actually went with 1-1. It's at the minute it's Burnley 1.
I know it's a windy day.
Watford 0.
Burnley have scored early, and that's to their problems because they don't score many.
Leeds. We'll go Leeds on that one.
Kolyosho looks good, doesn't he?
And Leeds are attacking again with Bogle.
Watford a big, strong, physical team, and
Sunderland Norwich. Let's have a look at that. It's with Angus Gunn in the Norwich goal. That must have been disallowed because that was a clearing of the odds there. So something happened down there.
Aston Villa beating Man City, which
Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 1.
Game, if you watched the first 15-20 minutes, looked like a shoe-in.
Mansfield 0. Ooh, Rotherham have a cross, but it's straight. It's miles away.
Good little flick forward, but again,
Mansfield have a goal kick.
He's on loan from Leeds United.
Taps it sideways, kicks it out, and Rotherham just boot it out for a Mansfield throw in.
And again, he sort of dwells on the ball there. Quite difficult to know what he brings to the party, really. I don't think he's got much future.
Rotherham lose it, and then gain it back again. Rafferty insisting, he kicks it, but it comes off a Mansfield player. And it goes for a Rotherham throw-in. I think they'll play it short or slightly backwards, though. I don't think they'll be pushing it forward. As Rothwell shoots for Leeds again, and it's another Oxford Oxford goal kick. Oh, Kelly's intercepted it, gives it to Nombe. Nombe runs into the box and loses it to Blake Tracy. Blake gives it sideways, loses it to Powell, and Powell kicks into the box, but Cahill tries kicking it sideways out, but Nombe shoots, and it's not even it's cleared back out to the corner, but only as far as Nombe, and Nombe's causing a bit of a problem in that back end, and we're on 13 minutes.
In the early couple of minutes of the game,
Back to Nombe, back to the goalkeeper, back to Nombe. Nombe, it's tried pulling backwards, but Blake Tracy intercepts that one for Mansfield. Powell as leads on another shot, and it comes back out to Tanaka. Solomon. Rotherham nearly had a chance there, but just couldn't get past that back line, and they're just not quite getting past that back defensive line, Rotherham, as James tries down the left to Blake. James down to Green, loses him. Green's not firing on all cylinders today. Is he not quite? Has he not quite got out of his illness? I don't know. We're on 14 minutes at, and it's a second corner. It's a corner to Rotherham. Let's see what Rotherham can do with the corner. Then we'll move out to the other games. So we'll just see what Rotherham do.
And does all the good things that you want to do.
A little bit like science for Norwich, isn't it? A lot of it kind of comes round in.
And he gets kicked out for a throw in into Johnson Clark Harris, and Hewitt clears that one. Only as far as Rafferty, and Rafferty tries running. He's getting it back to the goalkeeper, Phillips. James. So we'll just watch this one into the corner, but Hewitt grabs it. Hewitt wilts, and he kicks it out for a Rotherham throw-in. It's quite dangerous position, but I don't think they'll put it into the box.
Maybe so. It was tight.
If anything, they'll dip it short and then kick it straight in. We'll just say that we will see it in short, and it goes back to James in the corner, and he kicks it in, and it's Bowery who will clear that one nicely for Mansfield Town. And on 15 minutes, another corner to Rotherham. So we're pressing hard now, Rotherham, and let's see whether we can get anything from the corner. We have been doing quite well from corners, to be quite honest. We haven't been up to now. The last 3 games have been doing a lot better. As Tanaka takes it for Leeds. Short to Powell. Kicks it short to Powell. Kicks it into Hewitt. Yeah, great. And Hewitt can kick that one out. So on 16 minutes, we have another corner. And Johnson Clark Harris who take that one quickly, and Johnson Clark Harris off target there. He really needs to be on target from that distance, but he wasn't. And Rotherham United there, we're now starting to pile a little bit of pressure on. But I fear that this is starting into one of those games that Mansfield had, where they got loads and loads of chances but no goals. So we'll come out of that one. It's Charlton has scored a second. Now that could be interesting, because I didn't think Northampton would collapse, especially at home. I thought they might be able to. They've been playing decent football in parts, but it's now Northampton 0, Charlton 2, Burton 1, Exeter 0, Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 1. Burnley 1, Watford 0, and Leeds 1, Oxford 0. Leeds are in attacking again down that side, and pulls back Tanaka now. Oxford nearly intercepted, but Tanaka makes sure that he's going to get the second ball. Back to Meslier, up the left-hand side, Rothwell. Ampadu. And if anybody is in, then please do give me a nice heart or something, because I can't see anybody in. And I might just shut up and be quiet, and then we're sort of like, oh dear me.
He's struggling to bring
So,
that in. Anyway, Kenneth Powell on the ball. He flicks it forward one more. Finds Varane. I've not mentioned him really.
Not bad at the minute. So
So
we will continue as Leeds attack down the middle with Rothwell. Straight down the middle. Bogle, Solomon. Oh, and it's out. It's a goal kick to Oxford. You know, Leeds are... I tell you what, they're not playing badly. They're playing carefully. Is that the word for it? They're not just shooting on sight. They're carefully working out what they're doing and how they want to do it. Plymouth versus Middlesbrough. Plymouth are in the attack, and it's Hardy. Oh, shoots, but it's a Middlesbrough goal kick. Gives it short to Bryn. Edmondson kicks it out as far as Gibson. Why on earth do you give it to him there? A stupid loss of the ball for no reason, and sucks now. Kicks it out, but it comes back to a Middlesbrough player, Van der Berg. And back to Plymouth. And I tell you what, Plymouth, let's see the stats here, because Plymouth seem to be, they're not out of it, are they? 2 shots up by Middlesbrough, not on target, but I tell you what, they're not far away. So, the championship is void. There's only 2 goals in that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in League One. 1 for Leyton Orient, 1 for Burton Albion, 2 for Charlton, and 1 for Wigan. Anything else? Bromley are winning 1-0 away at Morecambe. Newport are winning 2-0 at home to Milton Keynes. We said earlier Swindon are winning 1-0 at home to Grimsby. If you follow the Australian, Scottish Premiership, it's Aberdeen 1, Hibs 1.
Like a lot of sides in the Championship, you look at both of these and say, yeah, with confidence and with a good run of,
Always been a goal at QPR, literally just now. It's QPR 0, Preston 1. QPR 0, Preston 1. Where's QPR? There we are. QPR 0, Preston 1.
Into the back of the net, there's a QPR man down. QPR are not happy with the Preston players, but Osmajic, I think it is, who's gone forward and scored. He saw the injury.
I actually got it before the video, before the radio got it. So the video's quite good.
QPR point of view, Osmajic is kind of apologising, but he's doing it after he scored the goal.
Sunderland 0, Norwich 1. Ow! I mean that's a strange one, isn't it? Sunderland 0.
Chance there to get
I wouldn't have thought that at all, never in a million years, but yeah, that's what it is. It's Sunderland 0.
Yeah, we're taking a look at it. Is that Steve Cook?
Yeah.
Norwich
so
City 1.
They just collapsed. You know.
So Preston have scored. Norwich have scored.
You can't be looking back there. You're all right, mate. You know, put the ball back around.
Newcastle are still winning 1-0 away at Ipswich.
I don't know why Stanfield's even bothering with them there. Greenwood tells him to get lost, and I tell him to get lost. Yeah, you know that you're never going to stop playing in that situation, are you?
Yes, so Blackpool versus Stevenage.
I doubt that Steve Cook, the way he went down.
And Blackpool have had a shot. Stevenage goal kick. Oh, flipping heck, gives it away, and Blackpool have a shot off target straight away. Just kick the ball to your own players instead of the opposition. Would be a good idea.
Taking the boot off, which is not a good sign in that sense that may have gone, and if that's the situation.
As Leeds have a shot, but it's Oxford's goal kick now. Everywhere I'm looking, it's a goal kick.
I just wonder if that Achilles went on him, and that's what it was, but. Whatever it was,
I know how that feels.
It went straight away, didn't it? As you said, he was running back.
So 22 minutes.
Sat up now, talking to the physio.
Let's go Barnsley. But poor old Barnsley, they're already 1-0 down against the Leyton Orient side that have been playing quite well. What did we say about this one? Let's have a look. We said Barnsley 2, Leyton Orient 2. Oh, that could be interesting. It's Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 1 at the minute.
They have had the best chances in the early stages of the game. But unfortunately, it is what it is. It's a good finish from us, mates. Let's look at it that way. No real chance for Nardi, who comes out to try and block it, but never really had a sniff. It's a really good end for the Preston point of view. And Steve Cook is desperate not to go off on the stretcher. I think he's got himself back up onto his feet, and he's going to say, "You take me off, and I'll hobble off," rather than going on the stretcher, which you kind of expect from Cook. But if it is the Achilles that's gone, that could unfortunately be the end of his season.
Yeah, I think you're right. Boot off there. I think that's summation.
Ashilaya for Mansfield Town. Oh, he loses it to Powell, crosses it in, but Maris is by the near post to just tip that one away. And on 24 minutes, it's another. It's a 7th corner for Rotherham. 7 corners for Rotherham. They haven't got one. I don't think they've got one on target yet. Short to Powell again. We keep doing the same thing. Zach Jules pulls it sideways. Oh, he misses that one. And it's a goal kick to Mansfield. And Rotherham aren't really doing it for me, I'm afraid. They're just not looking very good. Aronson shoots for Leeds. And it's away to the side. And Oxford goal kick.
Even he was a little bit sheepish about it, which he's usually a bit more bullish about stuff like that. Can be a bit of a mess.
Anything else has happened? 4 goals in there, 1 goal in the Premiership.
Anyway,
Premier League.
Premiership.
I called it the Premiership once in one of my videos, and I got told off by a subscriber. It's not the Premier League Premiership; it's the Premier League. Ooh, right? Okay. I'm just used to calling it the Premiership. Yeah. I know it is. And Leeds get it forward again. Another shot by Aronson. Doing quite well. Coming now. Oh, kicks it out. As far as James. Back to come in, but Cumming can kick that one away.
Anyway, I thought it might be Jimmy Dunn, but then it might not be.
I think it was done, yeah. The far post, wasn't it?
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in League One. We're on about 25 minutes.
But here come Peony and the counter attack. But
I will be in the second half because I know someone will be. My friend will be in. At least one of them will be. Either my Barnsley friend or my Mansfield friend will be in because we're playing Mansfield, so he'll be in unless it's working. He did apologise that it was working last weekend, so he won't be in.
Leave it alone. It's going to be Steve now to take us through to half time.
Yeah, thanks, John. Goals elsewhere that went in. I think it was just Sunderland, wasn't it? Yeah, Sunderland 0, Norwich 1. The visitors opening the scoring at the stadium.
Oh, yellow card to Oxford.
0 and Burnley 1.
Where's that ball at the time?
So far, still 0-0 at Plymouth, Millwall, and Cardiff as it stands.
Oh dear.
As we say, 1 up in our game.
4-1 Portsmouth. Played a blinder. 4 goals for Callum Lang. 4 goals for Callum Lang. Never mind a hat trick. He's got 4.
He's worked hard at that being bored.
Mansfield have scored. Mansfield have scored. And I knew, we were just saying that Mansfield were certainly on top. Rotherham have had 7 corners and done nothing from it. And it's Mansfield 1, Rotherham United 0.
If he was a cricketer, he'd be a leg spinner, right?
Yeah, certainly so. Yeah, there's no pace.
Norwich 1, Preston 1, Leeds are 1, Burnley have 1, Newcastle have 1. Woo.
We'll head off from left back to right winger to take this,
Wigan have 1. Charlton have 2, Mansfield have 1, Burton Albion have 1, and Leyton Orient have 1. So we're not doing too well at the minute. Not my side, anyway.
The left-hand side. pushing and shoving as always inside the 6-yard box. 3 QPR men in there.
So not doing very well. Let's see what we can do. We can go for a different one. Let's might even go for a different one. Just out of the hell of it, we can go for a different one. Let's see. Because it's just I'm gonna have to reposition the internet, I think.
Preston man hits Collie in towards the far post. Header comes in, but it's gone wide on this occasion. I think it may have been done again, coming in at the far post. Gets his head to it, but cannot angle it towards goal again. He makes the run away. He's properly marked. And in the end, it is Watchalong who is left stood looking at him really as the ball comes in, and he really should have scored.
Yeah, I mean, he's strong in the air, isn't he? Playing right back today, seemingly, but a bit of a licence to make up the numbers, and at times he looks like another number 9 in there, doesn't he? He really sneaks in.
Newcastle are doing well now, 1-0 up.
But of course, that's where Steve Cook was when he had to do the sprinting like a fullback.
Charlton already look like they're going to win that one.
Worked out. And of course, all this could have been, hugely different if Kenny Powell puts his side foot effort into the back of the net in the first place. They'd be on a lead, they'd be feeling good
at
about
the minute.
They'd probably chasing the game quite as much as they
We
are.
had 2 lives and absolutely no people have joined us.
After that last incident.
Look,
let's take a look.
I don't mind if people just want me to do the videos, then I'll do the videos. I don't really mind, I suppose. It gives me my Saturday back, I suppose. But oh, not bad. Mansfield have a throw in. It's Leighton Orient 2 now, and Barnsley are really not doing very well, are they? Where's Barnsley gone?
Goal for Preston. Made one superb save from a done header.
Barnsley now 2-0 up. Burton, Mansfield, Charlton 2, Wigan.
Against Queen's Park Rangers, which inevitably
we did say Wigan, yeah, Wigan Shrewsbury 1-0.
Amongst the home fans, he didn't give us a free kick a minute ago, which wasn't a free kick. Why have you given a foul against us that was a foul? Always a winner, as Todd Arson is clearly brought down. And Preston will then have their free kick. 30 minutes gone, although we have got a fair bit of stoppage time for that injury to Cook to play once the half comes to an end.
Let's go Cardiff, Sheffield United, shall we?
On their trip to the capital just before Christmas. Always work forward down the left hand side. It's going to play for a Preston throw in on halfway, which Kesler Hayden will come forward to take.
Right then, so earlier when we couldn't quite work out who was doing what to who, it was Dunn who put the cross in and Collins.
Suitor for Sheffield United.
So it was a decent header, a very good ball in.
Costa Burrows.
Clearly Jimmy Dunn putting himself about. Good
Suitor.
delivery. If only he could get on the end of his own crosses.
Although he did then
trying to go up the middle.
Later,
Not quite working. Try the left hand side. No.
Imagine how much it'd be worth if you could get the end of it.
Oh, they got it through to Hamer.
A couple of fast players who might be able to do that, I think. Sometimes.
Can't really do much from there. Gutas kicks it straight out. Managed to get to El Ghazi, but I can't control it. Out for a Sheffield United throw in.
Ball over the top then, long one for QPR to chase. 2 or 3 players forward on this occasion. Baran gets possession. And then
Newcastle are now 2-0 up.
Foul on that right hand side.
Burnley 1, Watford 0.
Well, Liam Lindsay has pulled that one out of the referee's note, but yeah, just grabbed onto the shirt.
Cardiff 0, Sheffield United 0.
So annoying when somebody pulls your shirt like that. But I think he's done that before. If it wasn't him, it was Jack Watmo. So they're masters of the dark arts, if you like.
Leeds United 1, Oxford 0.
Portman Road. Well, this is a chance.
Millwall 0, Blackburn 0.
Jimmy Dunn's head.
Plymouth 0, Borough 0, and Plymouth are actually playing reasonably well.
Got an opportunity.
Will be the free free kick then, around about 25 yards out.
Preston 0, QPR 0, Preston 1. Sunderland 0, Norwich 1.
It will be Kenneth Powell to whip it in left footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box, goes straight across the penalty area, though too far.
Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 2, and Barnsley aren't doing very well, are they? They're starting to drop down the league now. Blackpool 0, Stevenage 0. That's another one of those we're not quite sure of, isn't it? We weren't quite sure where that was going to go.
Sometimes it's a corridor of uncertainty, but I think
Burton 1, Exeter 0.
Give nobody a chance. And
Mansfield 1, Rotherham 0.
Waste of a set piece.
Northampton 0, Charlton 2. Wigan 1, Shrewsbury 0. Chesterfield are winning 1-0. Bromley are winning 1-0. Walsall are winning 1-0. Newport County are winning 3-0. Notts County are winning 3-0. And Swindon are winning 1-0.
In midfield. Free kick to Preston, round about 5 yards or so inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, right of centre. Kesler Hayden comes across thinking about taking it, and Greenwood wanders across. No rush from Preston, of course. They lead by a goal to 0. QPR defensive line are about 10 metres outside their
Plymouth versus Middlesbrough. Let's have a look at that one. Bundu for Plymouth.
Everybody's looking for offside flags, and the offside flag goes up, and therefore it will be a free kick to QPR deep inside their own half of the field.
On 34 minutes.
6 league games, keeping 4 clean sheets in the last 5 QPR.
It started off quite heavily in favour of Middlesbrough, but then all of a sudden it's been probably 15 minutes of solely Plymouth. So Plymouth at the minute are pressing more than Middlesbrough, as Middlesbrough get the ball now. Can Middlesbrough do anything about it is the question.
He had a couple of hacks at the back of his ankles to try and win possession back.
Middlesbrough shoot, but it's straight out by Plymouth, and it comes back in through Hackney. Hackney's I've seen Hackney being the central person quite a few times. Runs it to the right hand side, does Hackney, but loses it to Al-Hajj. Not the best of balls. Ipswich 0, Newcastle 2. Burnley 1, Watford 0, Leeds 1, Oxford 0, QPR 0, Preston 1, Sunderland 0, Norwich 1, strangely enough, and another strange score, Barnsley 0, Leyton Orient 2, Burton 1, Exeter 0, Rotherham are losing 1-0 away at Mansfield. Northampton 0, Charlton 2, Wigan 1, Shrewsbury 0.
Yeah, you sure did. The first 45 minutes will not live for too long in the memory, but the ball was screaming at half time. We wanted to go in.
To go home and see his mum. Yeah. Yes. It's not been good value really watching Luton if you're a Luton Town fan at Kenilworth Road this season. But the victory last night. QPR looking to get themselves back into this one. Long ball over the top. Lindsay will deal with it though before he's closed down on this occasion. For a clearance forward. As Woodman was under a little bit of pressure, not too much from Morgan, who was racing through to try and close him down. He just managed to get the ball away, and it's out for another Preston North End throw in.
No, it's all
dropped down into
all gone quiet, I must admit.
The last 5 or 10 minutes, really, either side of the halfway line.
Weirdly, I mean, you know, there's not much going on. Hard to pick the bones out of it. Peony have scored a goal because basically Steve Cook,
well, it's all pretty. Well, Charlton has just scored a third. I mean, that's an interesting one. Charlton has scored a third, which Northampton, well, they're not doing too good, are they? So probably not too much of a burden. So put that one in.
I can't.
Barnsley are losing 2-0.
He had time
We've got the only game that's 0-0 at the minute is Blackpool 0, Stevenage 0.
We saw Coley with a decent header.
We've got Burton.
Great save by Woodman. And then a not so good header from Jimmy Dunn. So actually, Rangers have been the better
Barnsley
team,
0,
creating,
Lake Norwich 2.
more
Blackpool
coherent chances.
0, Stevenage 0.
So there's not much between them.
Certainly isn't.
Burton 1, Exeter 0. Mansfield 1, Rotherham 0. Northampton 0, Charlton 3. You see it on there. And Wigan 1, Shrewsbury 0. So, yeah, there's a mixture of results there. Burnley are winning at home to Watford. Cardiff 0, Sheffield United 0. Let's have a look at that one. Has Mansfield attacking again? Yep, out for a Rotherham throw-in. Sheffield United goal kick. Oh. Oh, Plymouth are indeed 1-0 up. Plymouth have, as we came out of that, Plymouth actually scored. Plymouth are 1-0 up at home. So Plymouth 1, Borough 0. I did say Plymouth weren't out of it. They were actually playing quite good. So that's that one. I was going to go that one. Sheffield United, Suto. Saki, Raksaki. Down to the right hand side, pulls it across. Guta kicks it out.
Olaena scored for Forest. Brentford 0, Forest 1.
Brentford 0, Forest 1.
I do like it, yes. I must admit I've been impressed by him since he came into the side.
Brentford have real problems at the back, haven't they?
We are.
Losing this
In a minute, we're going to go cut this one off as well at half time.
Yeah, real problems for them. Plymouth will have dragged themselves out the bottom three if they can make that victory stick against Borough.
Ball comes into the area, but
Bit of a tackle there, and we're just. What's he going to give him? He's going to give him a yellow card.
I think that you'd have expected Plymouth to go down, really.
Is there a yellow card coming at Cardiff?
They've got a decent catchment. If you can get it right, I think he's sort of thrown games away, particularly away from home, to focus on the home form. And I think he's doing a reasonable job, Wayne Rooney. But well, it's going to be enough. I don't know.
Difficult things, you say. Oxford dropping down as it stands at the moment to the bottom of the table. They're one down, as we've said, at Ellen Road already.
Look at the point. So it's a joke, isn't it? From 24th up to 11th, really. Hardly any points, really. Anybody
that gets on a decent run of form will soon scoot up that table.
Come away from that. That seems to be something wrong there.
With 4 or 5 games across that time. Suddenly find yourself, as you say, out of the bottom.
It's almost like the referee's looking at a red card there at Cardiff. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Sunderland 0, Norwich 1.
Settled now as Frokier picks up possession. Todd Arson then rolls it out to Greenwood on this right hand side. Comes back inside for Story. Tries to turn.
Northampton 0, Charlton 3. We are depressed. It's been a very, very bad game. We're not not getting any people watching, which is a little bit annoying. It gets annoying when it's your fault the first time now. The Streamlabs didn't turn the microphone on. So I'm talking as if the microphone's on. It always turns it on. Well, usually. But it didn't. And it's like, oh, thank you. Very nice of you. But I think we're going to have to close the football channel down at some point.
Eventually the man who got forward tried to pull it across. And the substitute Fox was there to knock it behind. For the set piece opportunity for the visitors.
Just looking at the back four today for Brentford, Ian Collins, me, and Lewis Potter. Not exactly.
Not your first choice. No.
10-man Harrogate 0, Walsall 1. Look at one down there. Newport County 4, Milton Keynes 0.
About the number of defenders he's got missing because Brentford in a similar situation as you say. The corner kick then for
Brentford
Greenwood,
0
this time
and
against
Nottingham Forest
Wigan.
1.
Short, actually.
Ipswich 0,
Played
Newcastle
out,
now
to
2.
that left-hand side.
West Ham
Back
0,
to
Brighton 0.
Greenwood again. The pass from Todd Arson. Cross comes in towards the near post. Collie gets there first and then gets there ahead of Todd Arson.
Sheffield United attacking down the right-hand side now.
The centre circle.
They just can't get anything past it. It's just not working.
Preston as they look to ease this one and take a 1-0 lead into the break.
Hamer down the
4
left.
minutes of the 45 to go, plus whatever the referee adds on for the injury to Cook. At the moment, it's very comfortable for Preston. Particularly defensively, long ball over the top, too far, looking towards Potts, but it drifts away. Straight into the hands of Paul Nardi, who, quite frankly, I'd forgotten was playing for most of this game. The QPR goal.
Cardiff throw-in. Short to Rinomota.
For Preston's goal.
I mean, I think it's a really good finish.
Gutas.
But he didn't have a look at the man who's going to save it. Sometimes you get a sense of a keeper who's giving it up, almost like, Cook went down. Well, there we go.
Gutas, Maite. Oh, they lose it to Davis, who goes across the halfway for Sheffield. Oh, Hamer tries a long ball, gets it back, and Dauphin has a shot off target from about 2 foot out. Yeah, that's about our luck, isn't it? Hamer now, and Hamer can try and push down the centre for Sheffield United, but he's just coming up against the Cardiff back line, and they're not giving way. This Cardiff back line kicks it straight out to Bagan, and Bagan can try and sneak it round the back of the Sheffield United midfield.
So free kick in a good position here for QPR. I don't think there was much in that. Potts maybe left an arm waving, actually. Well, it must have been a challenge by Greenwood as the camera panned away, but we've seen a replay from a different angle, and it shows that got caught inadvertently by Potts, I would say.
Bagan!
They're very rugged, aren't they? Preston North.
Everything seems to be going quite slow at the minute. The Sheffield United game could, end up 0-0. It really could. If anybody's watching, it could be 0-0. Millwall 0, Blackburn 0, and that doesn't look much difference either. In fact, I think it's odds. Yeah. Probably a 0-0 there as well. Plymouth 1, Middlesbrough 0. That's probably one of the odd ones.
Corner flag on that left-hand side.
Wigan still there. Barnsley's still down. Let's have a look at this one. Norwich. Sunderland 0, Norwich 1. And Sunderland are attacking with 09. Oh, shoots in there, crosses in there, and it comes back out to Macondes.
The goal as well. Didn't take too long. He stretched it off. He hopped off in the end.
Well, that one's about to finish, so the Rotherham should do a long throw in here. Because it'll be going as soon as he throws it for half time. Mansfield 1, Rotherham 0. As Rigg has it for Sunderland.
The ball goes straight at a play for a throw in to Preston. Into the 4 minutes that will be added on then.
And it's Mansfield 1, Rotherham 0 at half time. Just as Rotherham try pressurising in the box.
Forward comes his side now, looking to find an equaliser.
It's Sunderland 0, Norwich 1 at half time. Anybody else? Burton 1, Exeter 1. We'll put these on because we are going to finish, I think.
Been isolated to keep coming back looking for support.
Burton 1,
For those who might be able to
Exeter
help him.
1.
That gives Preston then time to get players back into defensive positions.
Mansfield, Wigan, Lake Norwich we know about, Sunderland 0 we know about, QPR, Plymouth, Leeds United, and Burnley. Anything in the Premier League? Ipswich 0, Newcastle 3, but that's been just VAR'd at the minute.
He's got a lot of talent and a lot of hair, hasn't he, colleague?
Thank you for nobody turning up. We are going to quit.
That's probably game, set and match for them, isn't it?
we are going to quit that. I'm not talking to myself. Thank you very much. Bye bye.